Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and in today's tutorial we're making this dress you can currently see on your screen right now. So originally this dress was made using the smoky style, but for this one we'll be making the dress cutting a basic bustier for this one instead. We decided to not use the smoky pattern originally on this dress. So the first thing I did was to separate out the part that is going to go for the gathers at the bottom, which is actually this part that has already been cut out. So now I'm just going to cut out the basic bustier for the top. So the first thing I'll do is be making my measurements up to the half length area, which is the waist area. So this, for this person originally it is 17.5. I'm adding 1 inch, which will serve for which will serve for sewing allowance for both the top and bottom, half inch on both sides. So now I'm adding this half inch. I have 18.5. Originally this should be where the dress should start from, right? But if you see the top of the dress, I'm going to be taking out 6.5 inch from this dress. So this is what I'll be working with. This 6.5 inch line is what I'm going to be working with for this basic bustier. So first thing I'm going to do is to measure the nipple to take the nipple to nipple measurement. So for this person is 8. I'm going to add a half inch after I divide it into 2, which will make it 4.5. So just mark your 4.5. And then make the connecting line. For this person's shoulder to the under bust measurement is 14.5. So I'm going to mark it on this 14.5 line here, right? Still taking into account my half inch. So I'm moving this line down. I'm working with just this half inch for sewing allowance at the bottom. So now I'm going to measure out 1 inch on both sides. Or no, let's make it 1.25 inch on both sides. So you roll this to the bottom of the dress down like this, and then come to the top and also take out the same 1.25 inch. So I'm just going to curve this in. So on this top point, please don't forget to add your half inch for sewing allowance. And so this is just the basic bustier for the top. So this is what I have for the top side. So to cut out the back pattern and place the front pattern on the back, and don't forget to close out the breast pocket side just like you see that I did here. Now mark out your zipper allowance, and like I usually do, I take out 1 inch on the bottom and blend it out to the top just so that the back is flat enough. Now off camera I forgot to show that from the top side of the zip allowance, I cut down 2 inches and joined it to the end side of the back pattern. This is just to make sure that the back and front are not of the same length, that the back is lower than the front. So this is the front part of the bustier and placed on the back piece. So this is the basic bustier after cutting, and this is what it looks like after sewing. As you can see, the front, and then this is what the back looks like. I simply just put that of about 6 inches, although I have also trimmed the bottom, if you can see it. So this is what the basic bustier looks like. So now I'm going to go on to trim out the a space for the where I'm going to attach the sleeve, and this is what it's going to do. So for me to get this, I simply measured from the part where I cut off the top, which is like from this 6 inches. So this is where the under bust is, then this is the 6 inches. Now using the chest line for this person, which is 8 inches, I measured out 2 inches to the bottom at this point here, and then made this marking here. So this is where the chest line originally should be. Now I also determined how wide I wanted the neck area or the chest area to be, and I'm using 10 inches for this width. So now this is the part where my 10 inches stops, so I'm just going to mark it all the way down here. Now I'm going to cut off this part to be able to attach the sleeve on both sides. So right now I've trimmed for the armhole, as you can see. So this is the sleeve cutting. Now originally the length of my sleeve said 13 inches, right? But because it's going to have elastic at the bottom and at the top of the sleeve, first thing I'm going to do is to bend the bottom where the elastic is going to pass from, and then I'm going to measure the 13 inches and then also add allowance for where the so this is going to be 13, then I'm going to add 1.5 inch just to be able to also bend the top side. So this is where I'm going to mark out the length of my sleeve. Then on this I'll go on to cut a basic. So normally this should be the basic sleeve, but because I'm going to have elastic passing at the top, there was no need for me to curve it. Instead I just made it a straight line where I can just bend it and have the elastic pass in through. So it's going to be the same for the top and for the bottom, and then the other side where you can see is where I'll be joining it to the cloth. Now I've attached the sleeves and see where the elastic is for the joining to the dress, and this is the bottom part also with elastic, and this is what this looks like. So now all that is remaining is to add the bottom part of this gown and then also fix in the zip for it. Coming to the bottom of this dress right now, to attach the bottom gathers of this dress. Now I'm going to divide the waistline of the top that I just made, which is this. So I'm going to divide this waistline here into three parts. So the waistline for this is 36 inches. When I divide that into 3, that's going to be 12 for that's going to be 12. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this bottom side. I'm going to divide this part that is going to be for the gathers at the bottom. I'm going to divide it into 3 also. So I'll take the total measurement and then divide it into 3. Now I'm going to cut it into 2 and 1 part, right? We are going to meet on the part that is supposed to form the slit for the gown. So when I measure this, what I have is 104 inches. So when I divide that into 3, that is giving 34 for each. That's giving 34, and then the last one is going to be 36. So I'm going to cut the one side that's going to stand by itself with 36, and the other 2 sides adding the 234 to cut this together. I've divided into 2 and 1 part. I'm going to just stitch this together up to the point where I want the slit to begin from. Then I will now run a gathers on this side. I'm also going to make sure to bend in the part that should have the sleeve just like this, and then run a top stitch on it, just so look at how smooth it looks. Then I'm going to run gathers on this side when I join it together, and then pull it into gathers. So as you can see now, I have drawn the gathers, then I've also attached it to the point where the zipper allowance should be. I did that for both sides here. Then I also used a pin to hold it on the point here where I want the slit to show. As you can see it at the bottom side here. So I used a pin to hold it on this point, and then just drew the gathers on both sides there to meet at this point. So now I'm just going to run it over and now attach the lining to it inside. So right now, this is the dress after attaching the lining and the gathers at the bottom. So you can see where the joining meets. So this is how I attach the lining, and then look at how neat it looks on the inside. So this is what it looks like. Now I'm just going to fold the bottom of the lining, and then I'll close the sides of both the lining and the fabric to meet themselves, after which I'll attach the zipper to the dress, and then that should like be the end of this. So now I'm done with the dress, and this is it. I have attached the zipper, as you can see at the back, and then this is the finished look. So please don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share this video, and also subscribe if this is your first time here. Thank you for watching. Bye.